Hey, come on in. Come on in. Just up here trying to make sure everything is hooked up right. I got cords everywhere. Gotta get on this Instagram. This computer is going off like crazy. Goodness, come on. Just stop it, computer. Sending me all these update messages. How's everybody doing today? Just give me 1 second. So, excuse me. Just give me 1 second while I gotta hook the phone lines up. Okay, gosh. Every time I plug up my phone to the computer wants to act like it wants me to start doing something with the phone. Trying to go live on the Instagram real quick. Set that up. Okay. All right, we good over here on Instagram. Make sure when you on your way in, make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. And also, make sure you subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hopefully, if you're watching me right now, you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel. I'm going to wait a moment, see if some more people come in before I get started. Make sure call into the phone lines. Okay. I'm going to post our links to our Facebook group. We do have a Facebook group. Some of y'all have been coming over. I created the Facebook group a few years ago. So was using it occasionally, but now that I got my YouTube channel up and running good, I want a lot of people to start going over there as well, joining our Facebook group, because we do have conversation over there about TV shows, celebrities, trending news, celebrity news, you know, all that good juicy stuff. So I'm going to post the link in the chat. Hey, Sandra. Hey, honey. Hey, Keontae. Sandra, I just got your message. I was up here logging on to YouTube and I saw you had text me. But you are so welcome. So welcome. Congratulations again for winning the cake for October. And thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I was like, oh, she's like, her son is loving that cake too. But Sandra, she won the chocolate Reese's peanut butter cake I made for her. I state all the time that I have a contest that I have every month on the 1st. And if you are subscribed to this channel, and also my Facebook cake decorating page, I'll put the link of that in there too in the chat. Then you could enter the free cake giveaway every month. I've been doing this for a while, and many people win. So I just put the link to our Facebook group in there, and I'm going to put the link to my cake decorating page in there. Okay, so how's everybody doing today? I was at a football game earlier for my son at Benson, and it was so cold and it was raining, but it was senior night, parent night. So, you know, him, him and his father, we had to, you know, walk down the field with him, and he handed us roses, and, you know, we took pictures and, you know, all that good stuff, you know, memories that you create. So regardless how cold it was, we was out there freezing and wet for the love of the child. But I hope everybody else's weekend is starting off pretty good as well. Let me just find this link. But yeah, we're gonna be discussing Miss Andrea Kelly. Now, I didn't expect to see her on another talk show in another interview. The last time I seen her, I think, when was that? When was she on the View? Was it like last year? I don't know, maybe like 8 months ago or maybe a year ago or something. She was not on the View, I'm sorry. She was on Sister Circle. About a year or so ago, Andrea Kelly was on Sister Circle. And that's when she was, discussing R. Kelly and discussing, how she was abused by him in their relationship. And remember, there was a lady on there. I can't remember which lady it was on there because there's been several women. Well, more than several women that has made accusations against R. Kelly. And she was on there basically telling the lady that she believes her. If nobody else believes her, she believes her. And she started going into, how R. Kelly used to treat her and abuse her and starve her. I mean, all these allegations she was saying on Sister Circle. And when I was watching it about a year or so, I can't remember exactly when it was. I have to look it up. But when I was watching it, I was like, man, this stuff seems believable. When you look at all the things that's been happening with R. Kelly ever since the Aaliyah days. And after that, and then with, was it Pebble's daughter? No, her niece. I think that child was, how old was she? 14? I think that was when, 2008. That's when he had to go to court, and he spent all that time in court over, being charged with 15 counts of child and video porn with an underage girl. He was, allegedly seen urinating on a young teenager in that video. It was all over social media. Everybody had the tape. I mean, they were selling bootleg tapes of that. I know y'all remember that. And oh, you said that cake is the devil, Chianti? But delicious, but the devil. Yeah, Sandra, she just texted me and she was like, girl, thank you for that cake. That cake's so good. Me and my son about to eat some more. She texted me right when I was going live. That's why I was staring down at my phone like, who's this texting me? But Sparkle. Did I say Pebbles? Thank you, Chianti. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I meant, Sparkle. But I didn't expect to see her again on another interview like almost a year later. And this time it was on The View. I'm like, wow. What do y'all got to say about that? A lot of people have been saying that she has been getting, basically shamed. Because a lot of people thinking, okay, you was married to R. Kelly for 13 years. 13 years. For me, okay, I'm just going to say, I said it before. I done made a video about, you have to go through my videos, but I done made a video about the Geronda, the teenager who met him when she was in high school. She went to every single one of his court dates in 2008 when he was going through, court and trial and everything. And then she alleges that one of his employees or a friend of his has sought her out and invited her out to see him. And she was there living in the house. Well, not living, because she would leave and go back and forth to school every day. But most of the time she would play hooky. And her parents had no clue. I don't know how. I guess maybe back then in 2008, maybe the systems with schools wasn't set up too well. Because if my son is tardy for one class, I get a text message, I get an email, I get a phone call if he is even tardy. So And that was 2008, so it could have been a lot easier for her to play hooky every day and go see R. Kelly like she alleges. Um, but her, and then we have Joyce Lynn. I'm gonna just call her Joyce. Joyce Savage. Remember her parents, her father, her mother, her family. They've been pleading with her for a while now to come back home. On social media, they've been pleading with her to come back home. They even hired attorneys. And although Joy said, a couple months back that she's happy, she's not being abused. A lot of people think she's brainwashed, especially some of the women that alleges that he had done things to him, despicable things, like how the video showed him urinating on the woman. There's just some despicable things that they say R. Kelly be doing, or making them do, or making them watch. And as far as Drea, I do believe her. I believe everything she was saying. If you watch the interview, she was saying how he used to tie her up. He used to hog tie her. And she said this in different videos. She seems to be saying the same thing, not really going outside of, her original story. She sounds believable. She was shedding tears. She was breaking down when she was telling about the times where she thought she was going to die. But a lot of people is just saying, oh, you calling me right now? Hold on one sec. Girl, I'm slow. Hold on, honey. Hold on. Let me, doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, hold on, Chianti.
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign.
Okay, access code. I'm entering the access code now so you can call in, Chianti.
Access code accepted. There is one other participant in the conference. Please announce yourself.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, girl, let me put the speaker up here so I can make sure everybody hear you. And you guys who are listening in, make sure you tell me if it's too loud or if it's not loud enough, because we haven't used the conference call system too many times since I first started it. So y'all make sure y'all let me know if she's too loud or if it's not loud enough, okay? Okay. I know you ain't winning nothing, girl. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, did I have it on? Okay. Try talking now.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've seen her on I put it like this since
Okay, you making sure your
uh,
your radio down or your computer down in the background?
my phone.
Yeah, your
It
phone.
sounds low. Can you hear me?
Oh no, the video, was you watching it on your phone or your computer?
On my phone.
Okay, I'm just making sure it's not still playing. Okay, go ahead.
So her and R. Kelly got married like after the Aaliyah incident. So she knew that he had a propensity for young girls then.
Mm-hmm.
I know she was not immune to all the stories that was coming out of Chicago about him trolling junior high and high schools for young girls.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, and then when the tape came out, I'm sure she saw that tape too.
Mm-hmm.
She knew what her husband and her house looked like. She stuck by him. She did not say a word. Then she finally divorced him. She was on Hollywood Exes. And she never said nothing. She was actually, quite gracious to him and singing his praises pretty much. Didn't say nothing then.
Mm-hmm.
Then, the videos start coming out about him having a sex cult and this and that. She went and she did. First of all, she did an interview and she was like, "Shoot, y'all need to buy them ticket sales and them CDs. A sister got to pay her light bill."
Right, she got to pay that mortgage and them utilities. I remember that.
And then the next video came out. I guess some dumbass interviewer, which was wrong. They asked one of the kids about their dad, about the allegations against their dad. Now I'm like, I don't care how old they are. You don't ask somebody's kid no shit like that.
Exactly. Leave the kids
and
out
so
of it.
She was sitting in her car and she was going off about that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and there was an incident where somebody had even asked her daughter at school, does your dad pee on you at night instead of reading you bedtime stories?
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, she had said that on the interview just yesterday. I was like, what? But I mean, this happened back then when he was like, that was in 2008 when all that was going on with the little girl, Sparkle's niece. That's when that happened to her daughter in school. So it wasn't lately.
But my thing is this. You've been divorced from this man for 10 years. You have heard, first of all, you had firsthand, ain't no way that all of this shit was going on and she didn't know. You can't tell me she didn't know this.
It's hard to believe that she didn't. I mean, because see, the thing that I'm not getting is she was with him for all that time. There is people who was making allegations all between that time.
Exactly.
All during that time.
13 years.
Right.
They were married 13 years. And now you have been divorced from him for 10 years. And now all of a sudden you jump on the bandwagon. Oh, he did the same thing to me. You never once hinted to any of this stuff. You never once said, never let it slip. You never told. Because even when Tasha K interviewed his brother, that never came out. He never said nothing about, my sister-in-law told me my brother was, doing this and that to her. Never once. And now all of a sudden, you a victim too.
That's what
he hard you.
And that's why a lot of people is victim shaming her. I mean, I would never victim shame. I know a lot of people. I can add myself to this little Me Too. I ain't shame. Most people who know me well, I'm a Me Too as well, victim. So I would never victim shame anybody. But what they don't understand, like when you were saying, go support him, go to his concerts, buy his tickets, his albums and CDs, because my mortgage needs to be paid, my utilities need to be paid. She was just doing this like a little while ago. Like what, a couple of years ago, last year or something, when he was trying to go on tour.
Only like 2 years ago.
Yeah. And I guess his support has been going down over the years. And then there was another video she had put on her Instagram or Twitter or something, and a couple of years ago where she was saying, I don't care what he does. I don't care what he does in his day-to-day basis. That's not my business. He can do, R. Kelly can do what he wanted to do. Yeah, that she was in the car. So now you don't care what he does or what he did or what he's accused of or none of that, but now you want to come out. I'm confused because
we're supposed to cry tattoo tears now.
I'm confused.
Like you said, it given his, from what everybody is saying, and he just seems very arrogant and ignorant. So I'm not doubting that she probably was abused.
Yeah, I believe her.
But my thing is this. This is what I have an issue with. Why did you not, at any time, say something? Because you have firsthand knowledge. You could have stopped so many of these other victims from ever being victims.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what they were talking
That's
about
my
today.
problem with it.
They were saying that, about the Harvey Weinsteins, about the R. Kellys, about they was naming different people, how a lot of people don't come out for years and years and years. And then it's like you have to feel some kind of guilt, some kind of
Right.
fault, to
And
not
it's
say
like you,
anything.
to me, I feel like she's just as much to blame. The publicist, his brother, the road managers, all of them are to blame because not a
Yep.
single solitary one of them took down any information and went to the police with it about his activities. But they
Especially his
all knew
brother.
what was going on.
Remember, his brother was talking about when he was touring and performing with him and being his double and everything because they looked alike back then. He would be
Right,
his
right.
double. He was saying how, there's allegations of, well, he said he's claiming this, that they're not allegations, that is really true, that R. Kelly had a baby by his 14-year-old, well, back then it was his 14-year-old cousin. And R. Kelly
Yeah.
was how old? He was about 25 or 30 then. And the baby should be like darn near grown by now, right?
Right. Okay. And so once again, the family knew, and ain't nobody said nothing.
Yep. And that baby, I mean, if it's true, that baby probably came out looking just like him.
So this is all, I mean, everybody has to take some blame in this because those close to him, because they knew. It wasn't an allegation, it wasn't a maybe. You seen this shit firsthand. You were there.
The
You
girls.
went and procured girls for him.
Yep. Just like the Geronda
On
Pace girl
multiple
said.
occasions.
That's what Geronda Pace said, that he had his friend or his workers contact her and bring her to him. And she was 16.
Right. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I forgot who I was listening to, but somebody said, you notice that none of the girls are really that cute.
Right. So does that mean that he might, okay, I'm not the most beautiful person in the world, but is that like he's like trying to reach for women who may be a little insecure, a little, you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of predators do.
He chooses ugly girls and he chooses young girls. Because think about it, if they're young, pretty much they don't have a lot of experience, so he can mold them the way he wants to mold them and control them how he wants to control them. Because, like I said, most of them ain't had a whole lot of experience up until now. Their confidence is low. They low self-esteem. But these girls are thinking, like the Jocelyn girl. Apparently, it started out as she was supposed to be working with him for business, and now I guess she's his number one captive.
Right. And who was I talking to? You know what? It's funny because I had said earlier in my life, I was at my son's varsity football game tonight, and his dad and I was talking about this, and he was saying how he was like, them girls in that house, they there on their own will. And I was like, you really think so?
They might have went there on their own will. Because, they thinking, these are some young ass girls. They thinking, oh, shoot, I'm going to go back to R. Kelly house and, oh my gosh, I'm with R. Kelly. That's a big thing for them.
Yep.
That's a big thing. And they not thinking, this man is old enough to be my daddy.
That's the thing, because he don't look like it. He don't look like he's over 50.
He really don't.
He looks like a 30, and that's why people so upset that the schools aren't doing more, because, all them allegations of him hanging outside the schools, junior
but they don't even realize I find it kind of funny and ironic that these young girls are going to him and they were probably made to him. Their parents were probably having sex to his damn music to make them.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep,
And
going to
now
his
here you are
concerts.
in college. Right, right. And it's just crazy because I think we talked about that the last time I called. You know, he's been telling. I mean, he's so arrogant. He had been telling us from the start what he was doing.
Pied
If
Piper.
you listen to his music,
Pied Piper. And remember that
right?
oh Lord.
And who the hell chooses the Pied Piper as their nickname?
Right, and
And people they calling him this shit, and I'm like, they obviously don't know the story of
they
the
don't.
Pied Piper.
They don't. That's his alter ego. And I'm like,
I'm like, they
okay.
don't understand the significance of this, obviously.
Yep. And remember when K Michelle was on the View? And she, K Michelle
I
used
didn't see that.
yes, girl, K Michelle used to mess with R. Kelly. It had started out the same way, just like you said about Jocelyn. It started out the same way. She was working with him. He was mentoring her on, recording, producing music, all that. And they kind of got close. And she was saying how controlling he was. She believes everything these women are saying as well. And this was on The View. Look it up. She was on The View.
Oh,
And
I
she broke
believe it.
down. She was crying just like Andrea. She was crying, bringing up things that happened, with him. And she was saying, around that time, she was not so secure in herself. And it was around the time where she was, getting the injection. You know what I mean? All the stuff
Yeah,
that she's trying to get out of her now. Shoot,
she
that
was
big old donkey booty, but she got the donkey booty
on.
off
Girl,
now. And she looked totally different. Have you seen her latest pictures? She looked totally
uh-uh.
different. Yeah, she ain't got all that booty back there anymore. She had them suck all that
Because
mess
her
out.
butt was ridiculous. I think her, Nicki Minaj, and especially Kim Kardashian.
Oh
Because I'm
God.
like, no white lady, you know got an ass like that.
I mean, who
Unless
would?
they old and hunched over.
I don't get it. Like all that butt, but okay, but, that's a lot
I
of
mean,
butt.
I want a butt.
Yeah, but not. I don't want no dump truck.
I want a butt.
Sure.
It's I feel like there's a butt, and then there's just, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a badonkadonk and then there's a dump truck.
Right. And I'm
But
like,
yep, but
y'all
yeah,
doing way too damn much.
she was on The View and she was discussing R. Kelly and just saying, how he's really controlling, like Andrea saying. I mean, all of his alleged victims or accusers or, they all say the same thing about him. I just don't understand how Andrea, okay, some people say that Andrea might be in fear of being accused of wrongdoing, a crime of some sort, if she
Helping him
actually,
to recruit or something
right,
like that.
because she's shedding light. She keeps shedding light on what he did with her. Okay, we know he abused you. Okay,
She's
I
trying to throw the
mean,
light off of herself, though.
right. It's like, how could you consciously get on national TV in a public spotlight and, oh, he abused me, oh, but I want to be a voice now. If you want to be a voice now, then you need to talk about all the stuff that he done in his past. But he knows she won't do it. I don't know why. Oh, okay. And remember when she got married, when they got divorced, she had to sign a disclosure, NDA, and supposedly when he stopped paying child support, it was basically terminated. So that's gave her rights to talk about, discuss whatever she want to talk about. Then all of a sudden, she's out here in interviews, and that's why some people were victim shaming her because they're like, you just doing this for the coins.
Well, she on the road with me for now.
Mm-hmm. And she said she wouldn't really call it a Me Too moment. She just trying to call it, this happened to me. I just want to, let others know that, I believe them. The ladies that's been saying he's done stuff to them or try to keep them hostage. I mean, even her, she said many times she couldn't leave. He would threaten her.
Right.
He would beat her. He would tie her up and leave her on the floor for days. I mean, I'm like,
Now,
okay,
people doing all of that. Why the fuck did you stay for 13 years?
13 years. And she was talking about how her children would see the stuff and they would ask them, why you so mean to mommy? Why you doing this to mommy? I,
But see, that's what I'm saying. You stayed 13 years. Why? Why? Ain't no love, ain't no money that can make me stay and somebody doing some shit like that to
but
me.
catch that. Catch what you just said. She just said that on Sister Circle. On her Sister Circle interview, she said, or was it The View? She said mainly the
Look,
same thing. The View, she said mainly the same thing. It's almost the same exact thing on each show. But she was saying how, there's no money because when they were saying, she's just doing this now for money because he ain't paying her no more or making music or whatever. She was like, there's not enough money to make a woman stay. But you're right, she stayed for 13
but
years.
she did. And that's not accounting for the time that they dated.
Hmm.
So that's just 13 years of marriage.
Right. And then she told them that before they got married, he wasn't like that. And I believe that too. He
Of
was
course
probably
not.
all
I think he
smooth
was true
talker.
colors before that.
Yeah.
He can't show true colors in.
Most abusers are. They smooth, they slick, they get you in, they treat you, they wine and dine you. And
Yes, they so charming and
yep.
sweet and lovable, and then one look, like she said, one little thing can set him off.
Hmm. Yep. She was
Why is the
like, it's
milk too
the.
cold? Why is it?
Hmm.
But you knew all of this, and yet you stayed. And not only did you stay, you subjected your kids to this.
Right. Right. And I'm like, even if, just let's say, she didn't witness anything, let's just say. But still, 13 years later, 13 years later, all these different people have been in and out of his life throughout that time. So why 13 years later, when people have been making accusations all this time, it's different. It's different just to be abused and you believe that you were the only one, nobody was there, you just don't want to talk about it, you think nobody gonna believe you, but she's making it seem like she's gonna be the spokesperson for all these women and all this.
Right.
I'm not falling for all that. That part.
Right.
I'm not saying she wasn't abused. But if you're gonna
Exactly.
stand up for all these women, you need to come clean. Just like in his old stupid song, I Admit. You
Girl, when
ain't
that song came out, I cracked up.
he just wasted my doggone time. I was like 19 minutes. 19 minutes of basically denying everything.
And he needs to be locked away, and he needs some serious
Psychological help.
help. But that dude, he's funny as hell.
He is, and it's like, I admit, but I didn't do nothing wrong. All these girls, what do you say? All these girls are over it. Because see, the thing with it now, as of late, he's getting girls that are like right at high school age, like right at or 17, the age of consent, like they were saying, 17 in Georgia or whatnot was like the age of consent or something. So he would get people like right at the age of consent instead of the alleged 14, 15, 16s that people allege that he normally would. And I don't know, shoot, we don't know what that man doing in that house.
But hell, I mean, I'm just thinking about that damn what song was that? He was like the remix to I Don't See Nothing Wrong. And he was like, you listen, he said basically he was saying he want them 18 or older or 16 and younger.
Ooh, I don't think I haven't heard that. So I don't think what do I need to listen to this song?
Yeah.
The remix. Have I ever heard the remix? See, sometimes I ain't gonna lie. I'm not one of those people who know every word to every song. I used to when we were younger. You know how you used to play tapes and used to write down the words and used to
Okay.
rewind it over and over again. Now I'll be like, if I get it, I get it. But
Right.
I mainly choose music now because of the beats and how it sound, not specifically for the words. Because I listen to some ratchet stuff and I listen to some, R&B, I listen to it all. But if it sounds good, I listen to it. But
I can't do the rest of stuff.
girl, I'll be up here like, hey, like hold on, let me watch it. It's getting
Like
close to
that.
Sunday.
Like
It's getting close to Sunday. Let me
what's her
not.
name? Mercedes, when she was out, and she loved us and K. Michelle and all
Oh,
that.
I do
Okay.
love K Michelle though. A lot of people don't like her. I think her voice is
I
so
don't like her
pretty.
personality.
Yeah, and see, you know what? Speaking of that, um, somebody was talking about Tamar because we was talking about, Iyanla Van Zant and how she was going off on Tamar on the show. And a lot of people was like, we love her music. We love her music. It's her we don't like. And people were like, how you like their music, but you don't like them? Hey,
It's easy.
it's easy. It's
That's
easy.
like, with all of this, stop listening to R. Kelly. You a damn lie. I'm gonna look now, the new R. Kelly, I don't know nothing about all this new stuff.
I don't either.
But you give me something from like the Love Letter album. That I love that one.
Hmm.
So that one and Chocolate Factory on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh, that's my. You ain't gonna tell me I can't listen to old R. Kelly. I don't
Hmm.
have to like him,
Yep.
but I
So
feel like
still
his
stepping
music.
in the name of love. The next holiday is Thanksgiving, and I guarantee you somebody gonna be stepping in the name of love.
Sure, always,
Shoot.
always.
Mm-mm. But
And
yep.
so they can say what they want. I mean, I feel like this. In a way, yeah, if I still listen to his music or like say if my CD all scratched up and I'm like, damn, I need that CD again.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it because I like the music.
Yeah.
I don't support I should say this, I don't support his personal choices.
Right.
Just like I can't stand Steve Harvey.
Hmm.
I can't stand him just because of his personal choices.
Hmm.
I think he has stepped, that's why his karma is coming back to him. He has done wrong to so many people. He has stepped on so many people and it's coming back to him now.
Hmm.
And me and Tony, we go at it all the time about Steve Harvey because, oh, well, he got this ranch here and he helped young boys with no fathers. I'm like, Tony, you don't realize that's a tax write-off?
Right.
He do that as a tax write-off, so he
Hmm.
ain't got to pay as much taxes.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's in the name of helping these boys, and it may do it. It may help these boys, but that's a tax write-off for him, baby.
Hmm.
Trust me. If he didn't have that much money, he wouldn't have been doing that.
Right. So when they get up there in millions and upper millions and 7, 8, 9, 10 figures, they be trying to do tax write-offs all throughout the year.
Right. That's like everybody was. Oprah's so generous. Oh, Oprah built a school. Oprah trying to get some tax credits.
Hmm.
Please believe me.
Yeah.
Because why would she build a school over there and not one here in the U.S.?
A lot of people were saying that.
Because it could benefit. I mean, yeah, them girls over there, I have to give it to them. A lot of time the girls are not educated as well as the boys.
Hmm.
But think about it. How much opportunity do they have to use this education anyway? A lot of them don't
Yeah.
have that opportunity to use that education. Not saying that they still shouldn't be educated, but I'm saying right here in the United States, the illiteracy level is horrible.
Hmm.
You could have easily taken that money and started a school like LeBron did. Or, and it wasn't just LeBron, he had backers, but it's the fact that he did that here. He wanted to help people here. He
Hmm.
could have went over somewhere else,
Yeah.
but he realized there was a need here. Yeah, we have public schools, but come on now, who don't know that the public school system is failing our kids every day, and especially our black children?
Hmm. I do like how he had got his school set up where it's like not anybody can just go there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he got it set up for the kids who need more special guidance, more. And it's not like, what's the
That
name of that
extra
school that
push.
we got
That
here?
they need that extra support, that extra
Yeah,
push.
like extra push, like they got what it takes. Smart kids, they just, some of them is in a lot of desperate situations, families,
Right.
stuff
Right.
like that. So I have to give him his shout out. And Oprah too. Oprah does okay. She does do. A lot of people did say why she didn't build a school here, but she is helping people overall. She's done a lot. She done gave a lot, cars, all kind of stuff. Granted, those are tax write-offs, but 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 I wish I could be sitting up there, man. If they brought the Oprah show back, I'd probably buy a ticket every month, go see her.
Well, you get
Just
a
to
car,
see
and you get a car. Woo!
just to see if I can win something.
What?
Shoot.
You like, is this the Oprah giveaway day? Oh, well,
Ah,
shit, I ain't coming in.
they went on kind of stuff. I'm like, shoot, I'll go on Ellen. I don't care.
Oh, I love Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen, she be giving away stuff.
She do, but I just love Ellen. She seems like she has a pure heart, and she's just funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's cool as heck.
She's
Yep.
just goofy.
Yeah, she's cool as heck.
You know, I'm not saying that Oprah don't have a pure heart, but I mean, sometimes I question her motives for doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
and the way she does it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I take issue with Oprah just because her show, when she started out in Chicago, when she first started out, it was this little bitty talk show with this fat black woman,
Mm-hmm.
and her predominant audience was black women.
Mm-hmm.
Her topics were related to black people, stuff that we
Yep.
could relate to.
I
We
remember.
had somebody on TV that looked like us, and we're talking about things that we could relate to. But as her popularity grew, she shifted from issues that affected people that look like her to, all this weird white people shit. And, oh, let's see, how do you properly iron how do you properly iron your sheets? I don't iron my sheets. I take that shit out the dryer, fold it up.
I
Or
don't
hell,
think
sometimes I take it out the dryer and throw it on the bed.
I don't think I've ever. Okay. You know when you first get sheets and they be so crisp and the lines,
Right.
and yeah, okay. That's when I iron them. But every time I watch, I ain't got time to iron those sheets.
I know my grandmother used to do that, but I ain't gonna do no shit like
Please,
that.
I ain't never seen my mama iron no sheet, no pillowcase, no. She ironed the heck
My
out of our
grandma used to
clothes.
iron, but
Shoot.
she didn't do it. She made my aunts do it. They ironed
Mm-mm.
every sheet, every pillowcase.
No. Now
And
my
even
mom
as a
did.
kid, I was like, that's weird.
My mom did iron stuff like the things you throw on the sides of the
Mm.
furniture or the runners on the tables, you know,
But yeah, I
stuff
can see,
like that. Yeah.
ironing the tablecloth and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
stuff like that. But I ain't never seen her iron no sheets. And back then when we was growing up, shoot, everything got hung. She loved that fresh. Everything was hung up outside. So it was like you didn't even have to iron
To
stuff when
me,
you
that
hang
don't
stuff
smell fresh.
outside. Shoot,
To me, that don't smell fresh. I'm like,
shoot. That
mm-mm.
she everything, everything. Not like our jeans, things like that, but she hung like all the curtains, all the
Sheets and
sheets, all the
yeah,
linens and
the
stuff like
linen.
that. She would hang them outside, and I'm like, she was one of those really them. She was a housewife for years. That's all
I
she
was
did
gonna
was
say one of
cook,
them Susie
clean.
homemakers.
Yeah, Susie homemaker, cook, clean, and sew, and yep, that was her. Totally opposite of me. Now I cook and I clean, but that sewing and all that, putting buttons on the kids, nah. We gotta buy a new shirt. We gotta buy a new shirt. Your zipper broke. You need some new pants.
You gotta stop somewhere.
No, shoot. I cook, I bake, I Attend all conferences and games and all that, but needle and thread, nope. That I ain't doing. But
See, I
yeah,
do needle and thread. I do that in a heartbeat to sew something up. That ain't no big thing for me.
shoot, I tried. I was like, I tried. I mean, I've tried to put buttons on shirts before if they fall off. And I get some needles and thread and I tie it on there and the button be hanging off or button be leaning to the side.
You got the button hanging off.
I mean, the
Why
that's
you don't
can't
know to sew a
buy a new
button?
shirt. Buy a new shirt. No.
Put a little
No.
safety pin in there.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, plenty of time. Safety pin that worked better than my little sewn on button.
Oh,
Mm-mm. Nope, I ain't got that.
Lord.
Nope. No shade, no
Mm-mm.
shade to the homemakers, but who really get down into all that sewing quilts
Mm.
and covers and all that kind of stuff. Mm-mm-mm.
But
But
then I got a question about R. Kelly, and it's just something that I just thought about.
what?
Because since he's been singing and performing live, well,
Mhm.
he's been singing all his life, but he's been performing, professionally since he was about what, 20, 21, somewhere around
Mhm.
there. And think about it, he was probably the primary breadwinner
Mhm.
because he sung and he's told about how they were poor and there were nights they didn't eat and, all kind of stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I wonder, he went straight from taking care of like his mom and probably his brothers, and then straight into being married, having kids, and now he's like, look, I just kind of want to do me. I don't
Mhm.
want to take care of nobody else. I just want to do me.
Well, do you
Yeah, he
think
take care of
that?
them girls.
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
And I was just saying, yeah, he take care of them girls, but that's only because basically they're trading favors.
Mhm. It's like
You give me,
the barter
it's
system.
almost prostitution basically, but
Like the barter system. I do for you, you do for me.
right, right.
uh-uh. But do you think that like okay, a lot of these accusations, like for instance the niece, um, a lot of the people really really close to him who knows man, if I could be a fly on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Like there's people around him that or people who used to be around him who knows I'm sure so much they could write like 10 books probably of stuff on him. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think his family, friends, all his employers was just influenced by money,
Oh hell yeah!
by
Because
him, what he
why
could
else
do for
would
them,
you
and
not? First of all, I want to know. Okay, he molested this 14-year-old girl, his cousin. Why would you allow her to have that baby if not for the money?
see, that's what I was thinking about. If he did, if this is true, what his brother is saying and others, um, did he pay child support? I mean, was there some undertable payments? Did he like buy her mom house, cars? I mean, if these people really think that he is the father of that 14-year-old's baby, ain't no way in hell my daughter. Okay, first of all, I'm I'm gonna try to go upside his head if it really happened. He gonna be in jail.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? You go all
right,
measures to get justice. So money wouldn't even be a thing, of course, because we're gonna take his butt to court and everything. And oh, my daughter and that grandbaby gonna be taken care of. But I mean,
right,
how could you let your daughter go through this age? At that age
right.
and not get anything out of it. I mean, if you're gonna be that low and cover it up and sweep it under the rugs like a lot of families do, and he's
Mm-hmm.
rich, there's people who sweep stuff out of the rug because they done got raped or molested by Uncle Charles or Uncle Eddie. You know what I'm saying? And they just
Right,
sweep it
right.
under the rug and just struggle most of their life trying to raise this child at a young age. But he got money. Hmm.
But
Huh.
I mean, I'm just saying, they got something out of that. Why would you? what parent would allow their child to go through a young child to go through that at that age after being molested by older cousins, a relative, you know?
And had the
Why would you
baby.
make it?
Mm.
That's just, I mean, and unfortunately, the reality of it is you are making this 14-year-old relive this every day
Every
facing
day.
this child.
Every day. And then the child, the father, if you know, it's all alleged, but if that is a child, I wonder if the child knows. I mean, I can't
Right.
imagine raising a child that was born out of a relative of ours who's really famous, and this child has no idea. You know how kids are at a young age. They see other people with their dads and their moms, and where's my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
mean, no, he is not going to be up there touring all over the world, hoeing around, doing everything else, having families, wives, and all this. I mean, just imagine he's married to this chick for years and years and years. And if it's true, and you've been sitting around raising this baby, and you're a baby as well.
Exactly. It just that it's a lot of stuff that has been alleged about him. But
Hmm.
I'm like, the only motivation has to be money or notoriety, you
Right,
know?
right.
And since the child so far hasn't asked for any notoriety, what's the only other alternative you can think of?
I don't
Money.
know. I don't know. And another thing, if there are allegations like that, I wonder if there was a blood test taken. I mean, I'm just saying, if he did like take care of the child or something like that, I'm sure he would probably want a blood test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say that you gave me a baby, this your baby. You know, it happens all the time with rich people. I need a blood test. I don't know who else you've been
Right.
messing with. Not saying I'm not. I wouldn't even say the 14-year-old was out there. You know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Even if the
Right.
child is 14 or 15 and you think they ain't out there doing nothing with anybody else, still, when she got pregnant, I would demand, if I heard or I thought Kelly had raped or sexually assaulted or molested my daughter, I want a blood test. Now, where you
It
go
would have been
after
a
that,
blood test,
if you go
and
to the
it would have been a trial, but it would have been against me. Cause that just ain't finna happen. That ain't how this story is gonna end.
and the child gets no justice, no justice. Because at a young age like that, I mean, you still listening to your parents. You still a kid.
Exactly. You are still totally dependent on your parents. It ain't like this 14-year-old could have went out and got a job.
Right, right. And even if she would
What
have
was
went to
gonna sell the
school,
newspaper?
I mean, even if she would have went to, like, some people go to school and tell their counselor, tell their teacher, I was raped, I was molested. Even if that would happen, they probably would tell her things like, if you tell, they gonna take you away from us. You're gonna end up in foster care. Your baby ain't no telling where the baby gonna be.
Right.
So we don't know. We don't know. But me personally, I can't do it. If somebody molested, raped my daughter at 14 and we have an idea who did it, but he got money, I don't care.
I don't give a
I'm
damn about
screaming
that
from the
money.
loudest rooftop. He did it. He did it. Take his butt to jail. And my daughter, he gonna pay for that baby. Set up a fund for that baby. That baby gonna go to college. Everything that baby needs, it's gonna have. That's how that would have went.
Right.
That's sure how that would have went. But I don't know. I hope something like that really didn't happen. But his brother seems so. I don't know. He seems so believable to me.
Right.
I mean, he does, especially how a lot of people are saying the same stories about him soliciting women, young women, through
Mm-hmm.
through through his associates. he would never be like holler at a girl himself. They say he would
Right.
always send somebody else to do it. So on the outside looking in, it would look like this other older dude over here is trying to holler at this,
Right. Somebody else is being the creeper instead of
hmm
him.
And he said he used to slide him his number here. Get that girl my number.
Right. And tell her, text this number or, text
hmm
this code in there and let me
hmm
know who they are. Well,
Yep.
and then, after, because some girl was saying that after that happened to her, when she first called him back, was like, oh, you're supposed to call me daddy.
Right. I think I remember that.
It
You
was
gotta
like,
call him daddy.
yeah, I'm going to go with no.
And my thing is, if he abused his wife for all them years, how far fetched is it for him to abuse somebody who don't have children with him, who is not wearing a wedding ring, who, you know what I mean? These is just some young women, gullible, impressionable, um, some of them low self-esteem, daddy
Yep.
issues. I
Yep.
mean, how far fetched is them for not have them hog tied up somewhere in a closet or, starving them for days? Just
So several of them have said that their typical outfit in the house is sweatsuit.
right.
He
And
makes you wear sweatsuit.
right. And then Andrea, she was saying how he would flip off and go off on her if she wore something that showed a little too much cleavage. Or, and she has a dancer's body. She's a
I don't
choreographer.
know what it is.
She's a dancer. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know
I
what I
know
mean?
what you're
She don't
saying.
have no big boobs or anything. But you know what I mean? Like a skirt too short, or even if her
Right.
cleavage ain't that big, a low neckline, or showing too much skin, arms, whatever. Um, he would try to make sure she didn't show a lot of skin or cleavage or whatnot. If her tone wasn't the right tone, if she looked at him
Right.
wrong, if the milk in the refrigerator wasn't cold, like how milk not gonna be cold if it was in a fridge? It just sounds
Um,
like she making it seem like he would just pick, just nitpick at things, just to have a reason to
he
go off, to be controlling,
he probably would.
to be controlling. I mean, how does milk get warm if it's in the refrigerator?
Unless, like she's sitting at the breakfast table and got the milk and
Yeah,
the juice and everything. But,
right,
like I said, she subjected herself to that because she could have left at any time.
right, right. But
How many times did he go on tour or was he in the studio? You could have left then.
yep. And my whole issue, like I said, I'm not trying to victim shame her because I do believe her. I do believe her. Everything she's saying. It's just, to me, seems like if you want to be like the spokesperson and tell these other women, I believe you, if nobody else believe you, there's some other stuff that there's some
Oh,
other
yeah.
stuff that why you're not speaking about it. I mean, what can
But
he
she don't want
do?
to implicate herself.
And that's what I was saying earlier. But I mean, you gotta come clean. Um, when your day and time is over, don't wait then to be on your deathbed talking about, okay, I'm gonna give you the list of names. I'm gonna give you all this stuff that he used to do. I'm gonna tell you where he keeps whatever. Because most men who rape, molest, sexually assault, they keep something. Whether it's in
Some kind of
writing
trophy.
or some kind of to keep track of everything they do, some kind of recording, I mean, she has to know something. It's
Right.
crazy. Like all these women who married to men who were serial rapists or serial murderers or stuff like that. You gotta know something. Your man is not coming home every night at 3, 4 in the morning, sweating up a storm, smelling like he been digging up dirt, and you don't know nothing.
Right.
You don't
You
know
don't know nothing.
nothing.
Ain't nothing out of the ordinary here.
Yeah, ain't nothing
Really?
out of ordinary.
So this is normal for him. This is normal behavior. And you think it's okay.
Mm-mm. That is not normal behavior. And how the women that he with, like Geronda Pace, she said in her interview that he would have the other women, once they got to a certain age, he would have the other women, like a lot of pedophiles and rapists do, when they do something to a young child. Once that child gets a little bit older, they make that child go find them another child, and then they eventually, that oldest one, they done with them. But she was saying how the older women would do that. And they asked her, well, were you one of those women who did that? And she was like, no. She said, I never did go out and get anybody for him.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But, like, it's just too much going on for Andrea to just be like, I was abused. It's something else that she's not saying.
Right.
And, I mean, you just need to get it off your chest.
That's something I try to teach my kids, is not necessarily what people are saying, is what they're not saying.
Yep, what they're not saying.
That. And nobody asking questions. And that's why I don't feel like I'm victim shaming her. I'm hearing what she's saying, but I have questions. And because I have questions, I'm victim shaming.
Right. Right. And that's what they were trying to say. We have valid questions. We have valid questions. Who's not going to question? If you think this man has done all these wrong things, keeping people hostage, I mean, abuse, all these accusations, you believe them. But nothing happened those 13 years when y'all was together. All of a sudden, he want a house full of women. All of a sudden.
Right.
No. Hefner didn't all of a sudden have a house full of women. He was adding them over through the years. I mean, come on now. And he think he's a Hugh Hefner. Up there in that big old house, probably sit around and roll most of the day. Smoking a cigar while one woman on his back, one woman on his feet, one woman on...
And you know, he sounds like a freak, so he was like, girl, I don't even want to know all the stuff that he done probably did.
I don't know. He was
probably been doing.
I don't even want to imagine, because for one, urinating, man, I wish somebody would. Do you want to keep that thing that you're urinating with?
Right.
Oh, that is so disgusting.
You like inhaling and exhaling? Oh, okay.
No. No.
Well, I think we're going to change some things around in here if you like breathing.
You was not going to use me as your toilet. No. That's disgusting. It's...
Well, Miss Sophia say, oh, Sophia Beck, some things about to change now.
Some things definitely about to change. I hope some things change. I mean, Jocelyn's dad, he was saying how supposedly after Geronda Pace's interview, she was saying that the FBI, she's working with the FBI, other women are working with the FBI to bring R. Kelly down. Joyce Land's dad is like, not pleased with the police department, the FBI, wonder why they're dragging their feet or if they're doing anything at all. I mean, do you think that they really are building a case, like a big case against him? Because if they are, it's really discreet.
They can't do nothing because these women are all legal.
Mm-hmm.
If he had a 14-year-old in there, that would be different. But these are all legal. They all came to him willingly.
Well, what about all the ones that's making
can't say nothing.
And what about the ones that
can't say nothing because he's the one that set her up and sent her there.
Yeah. But what about the ones who make allegations of the abuse and okay, what's that one? What was that Kitty? What was her name?
Kitty Jones.
Yeah, she's the one who said she had to run away, right? Or she was on the bus and he tried to
she was different than the rest. She was a whole grown-ass woman. She was like 25 and left her job.
Yeah, at the radio station. She was making good money too.
Okay, I can understand still being a little naive at 25, but to give up your whole life to go there, and then I don't think none of them are like chained to the wall or nothing, so they can leave whenever the hell they want.
But you know what? Oh, go ahead.
But from what I understand, it wasn't that, she had to run away. He got rid of her because she got too old. And so now I think with her case, she's being vindictive because he didn't want her no more.
That could be the case.
That's how I feel.
But you know what? Sometimes I wonder, like, okay, this was a very smart and intelligent lady. Even her coworkers and stuff could not believe what she did. Her family couldn't believe it. Her friends, her coworkers could not believe she left this good job at this radio station to go live with him. Do you believe that maybe some of these women is just like, I need to see it for my own eyes? I need to see if all these accusations is true. They just have a desire to see. Like, they hear all these accusations. They see all these reports, all these interviews, all these people coming forward. Fathers pleading for their daughter to come home, telling the police to go get her because she's been held hostage. I mean, some of these women, I think they probably be like, nah, our Kels ain't like that.
I think, to me, I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I think they went because they wanted him to take care of them. Think about, they ain't got to work.
Like a sugar daddy.
He buys everything for you, and you get to say you hanging out with him. You've been with R. Kelly.
But it's like they don't have that. They can't just go wherever they want. Like, they can't just take a trip with their friends. They can't. It's like most of these women say, every single place they go, they got to be close to him. They got to be with him. They can't speak to men. They can't look or talk to his men workers, his crew, his bodyguards, they're not allowed to speak. His staff is not allowed to, male staff is not allowed to speak to his women. I mean, he's really, from what they say, is really strict. So it's like, I don't get it. Why? I don't know. They alleging that he keeps people hostage. I don't know. And I guess the people of the girl who they trying to get come home. I mean, you have children. I have children. We know our children very, very well. I would think they would know if she's in her right mind or not. Like, if my oldest son just happens to just quit his job, leave his car in front of the house that I bought when he graduated from high school, and just leave everything here and just ran away somewhere and call me a week later, Mom, I'm safe, I'll be okay. I mean, come on. I'll be like, what's wrong? Why ain't you coming back home?
Of course, it's natural for them as parents to have concerns and want to make sure, know for themselves that she's in a safe environment, that she's, taken care of mentally, physically, emotionally. But at the same time, the girl is telling them, hey, I've heard of people where they like, I just don't want to go back to my family.
And she's doing it by social media too, though. Like, okay, that's one thing Andrea said that piqued my, when she said that when she was with him, he would always change like their cell phone plans, their cell phone numbers and stuff like that, so people couldn't reach her. So she wouldn't have, her family wouldn't have access to her. So that's why I said I really believe her, because a lot of the allegations that are being said she is backing them up, like, okay, this happened to me, this happened to me. But I just think that, and a lot of other people think, there is something she's not telling. If you gonna tell it, tell it.
Right.
I
So
mean,
no.
if you gonna tell it, tell it. Ain't no telling. I'm sorry, but if all these allegations are true, he started with Aaliyah when she was 15. Can you
Mm-hmm.
imagine how many there could have been? Okay, they allege that he had a baby with his 14-year-old niece. Is that the only baby out there by an underage girl? I mean, it's too
See, that's
much.
my thing. I'm
It's
like,
too
it don't
much.
just start. I mean, when did it start?
Yeah, when
We
did it
just became
start?
aware of it with Aaliyah.
Hell, for all we know, it could have started when he was okay. He was raped, molested, sexually assaulted, whatever, by some older lady. Him and his brother.
Right,
His
when he was
brother said it too. He was like
when he was
12 or
like 5, I
13.
think he
Yes,
said.
something like that. Really, really young. And so, who knows? A lot of people who's been raped, abused, and molested, especially men. They
They
start at
say
a very young
hurt
age.
people.
Yep, hurt people, and they start at a very young age. A very young age, like
Right.
14, 15, 16.
So who knows how long he's been doing this?
I just wish everybody would come out and say what they need to say. They need to Harvey Weinstein this dude. For real, all these people, I don't care how old it was, from the bodyguards to the producers to the dancers, there is people who know a lot of stuff. But I mean, I'm sure, being the person he is, like a lot of celebrities, they make people sign disclosures, um, you know, NDAs. But how long
Right.
do they last? They can't last
Again,
forever.
it just depends on the person, I think, you know. Some may be forever, some may be 50 years, 20 years, 10. Maybe they got some kind of clause in it. Who knows, you know?
I couldn't sleep. I couldn't rest. I couldn't be at peace with myself ever, especially when I start having children. Be like, I
Right.
mean, because people could be taking advantage of your child and somebody else know, and they don't tell you. I mean, sometimes you got to put your own self in the situation. Be like, what if it was my kid, my daughter?
And see, my thing is just people are taking it. I mean, I I don't understand the victim mentality as far as this person has assaulted, molested, raped you, and then you wait 10, 15, 20 years to report it.
Hmm.
Why didn't you say something when it was crucial? When you could have turned this person in immediately. They could have worked on this case, you know, from the beginning, collecting, you know, DNA and all that kind of stuff.
That's like
Why
the Bill
didn't you say
Cosby.
something new?
That's like the Bill.
Um,
That's just like the Bill Cosby. The only way the only reason why he is in jail right now, allegedly
because he
being
opened his damn
mistreated,
mouth.
is because for one, he opened his mouth, but for two, a few of his victims, it was still within the time where they could press charges. The rest of them, it was way past. Too many years had gone by. You know,
But it was going back like 50 years. I'm like, are
yeah,
you
like
serious?
we're literally from the
I don't remember
70s.
what the fuck I did 5 minutes ago, and you expect somebody to remember 50 years ago? I'm like, come on,
I'm
guys.
like, was I even born
To
then?
join to the subconference, press number of subconference from 1 to 9. Press star to return to the conference.
Press star to return to the
You
conference.
have joined subconference number 9. To return to your main conference, press pound star.
Star.
You have joined the main conference.
Ooh, what I do? Hello?
Yeah, I was like,
I don't know
did
what
I get put
happened.
on hold?
Girl, I don't know what happened. The thing just started talking to me. To join the conference now, press star pound. I was like, join the conference. We maybe it does that every so many minutes or whatnot. But I was like, dang, is it doing that for somebody else beeping in? But nobody else was beeping in, so I don't know. But yeah, back to Bill Cosby. It's like a lot of the people was just like 100 years ago, so they couldn't do anything about it. But and then that's why I'm glad. I hate all these. So many people have went through experiences like this, but hopefully, with the help of the Me Too movement and I mean, women are really, trying to be more vocal nowadays, and it's also making an effect towards organizations, companies, schools. I mean, the big fortune companies, um hopefully it decrease a lot of the sexual assault and stuff like that. But if we keep doing like we've been doing, waiting 10, 15, 20, 30 years, I mean, it's
Right.
so many
How do you
thousands.
actually expect them to be convicted?
Right, and it's thousands of people that get molested and assaulted and raped every single day. And it
Right. And
mainly
that's
that
sad.
amount because people don't talk. People don't talk. I mean, our kids in school, it's probably at least 5 to 10 people getting molested in their school every day.
Right.
I mean, it's just how it is. And they come to school every day, probably depressed or probably showing out in class or,
And hoping somebody pays attention.
right, right. So, I mean, we have to talk. We have to speak up. We can't keep waiting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And then get mad when people don't believe you after 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Right. Right.
Um, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. But as far as him, yeah, Andrea, you need to understand you was, and then like when she say she was almost killed in the back seat of the Hummer. And,
Well,
oh yeah, go ahead,
go ahead. I mean, when she said that, I was looking at the screen like, for real.
girl. She said she thought she was gonna die in the back seat of that Hummer. And I can't even remember what was they arguing about. She said
I don't think she actually
she
said
didn't
what they was
say, did
arguing
she?
about, but she said he pulled her arm behind her back, and
Hmm.
then he had his knee or elbow, he had his elbow in her neck,
Hmm.
and she was saying the only thing that saved her life is she was talking about, Robert, I can't breathe, you gonna kill me.
Hmm. Yep, yep. And some of his, she said, when the switch goes off in his head,
And she
because she
was
said
looking
it's
in his
all in his
eyes.
eyes and his demeanor. And I'm going through like Google, just looking at pics of R. Kelly, and some of his pics, I mean, it's like he looks crazy. I'm sorry.
Just dead, just some of them had a dead gaze.
That
That
dead gaze, yeah. Like,
that's you know what that is? That's that evil spirit.
it gotta be. It gotta
That
be.
really is. Excuse me. And Leslie T had made a video about that earlier this week. And some people, were like, yeah, it's true. You can see that spirit in people, and you can
Hmm.
feel it, and this and that. And others was like, oh, that's being no,
No,
that is
it's
so.
truth. It's so true. I mean, I have seen enough. I done came across enough evil people in my lifetime, um,
Mm,
to know, to see when you've been through something like that. Where, like I said, I'm part of that little Me Too movement. Not little, like demeaning it, but you know what I mean. Um,
yeah,
Me and a lot of people I know, from family members to friends, you just learn to, things happen to you, it wakes you up and it makes you extra careful who you talk to, who you let around your children, who you give your phone number out to. I mean, I've been approached by men, and I'm like, mm, looking at their eyes, like,
That's why we
I
like people
don't
say the
think
eyes
so.
are the window to your
Sure.
soul.
I,
Because you can look. And I mean, you can tell when you look at these people like,
hmm
I mean, and there's sometimes, and I mean, people can laugh at me or whatever, but there are times when I can just look at somebody and be like, there's something about their spirit.
Something
I'm
ain't
not,
right.
mm-mm.
Something ain't right.
And you
Something ain't right.
what you mean? Or like I can meet somebody and within the first few minutes, I'm like, yeah, I don't like them. There's something about them. Or I'll tell like my cousin, she believes me now, because I'll say it's something about them. They have never done anything to me, but I don't. It's something about them I do not like.
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't like it. And
Yep.
my cousin, she used to be like, what do you mean? You just being crazy and blah, blah, blah. And then it may be months and sometimes it may be years later and she'd be like, Keish, you know what? You was right.
hmm
You were so right.
You gotta have your senses up.
You're right. You got to
Sure.
have that, what they say, that discernment.
Those spidey senses. For real though,
Mm-hmm.
for real. Um, because as you know, single parents and stuff, I just know, I just can't know. I don't care. I don't care what kind of car you drive. You had the baddest car out there, the best job, be dressing the flyers, um, and all that. But if I know, like, okay, I used to tell my little cousins all the time, when they were growing up and having boyfriends and stuff like that. And I was like, man, when I was talking to guys, or still, when I talk to guys, all it takes is like 3 or 4 phone call conversations to let me know if I should even continue wasting my time on this specific person. I mean, because
Right.
by the time you get to the third or fourth conversation, it's all kind of other things that comes out that they might not even be meaning to say.
Exactly. And I tell people, kids, grown ups, I'm saying, you know what? When you're like you said, when you're talking to somebody, listen to what they're saying and listen to how they're saying it. But not
hmm
only that, if they say something that you feel is not aligned, don't let that shit go.
hmm
You correct it right then and there because you know what? They'll take it. They'll keep taking it further and further and further until you don't know who you are,
Right.
and that's when somebody's controlling you.
Yep. And you don't want to lose yourself. That's one thing Andrea was saying as well. When it first started off, everything was cool, fine. He's perfect, perfect man, gentleman, whatever. She used to work for him. So she was his choreographer. So she taught him
Right.
and his, dancers. I'm sure his brother, who used to dance for him, taught all them, Uh, and it's like once you got to a certain point with a certain person and you start to focus more on them, everything is about them, nothing is about you anymore. You cater to their every need, they not catering to yours anymore. um you done lost yourself. You done lost yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're not talking to your friends anymore, they don't want to call you anymore because they see that this man that you with is really strict and aggressive and controlling. They can't some friends, like, okay, even true friends, even the truest, bluest friends, are still bow out. Not saying they done with you, but they'll bow out, and your contact will be sporadic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't see what this man is doing to you. He's doing this and that and the third. When the last time you been home? When the last time we went out? We don't have girl chats anymore. Lunches, brunches once a month. I mean, everything is just like no more contact, chilling with the fam, chilling with the friends, the homegirls, the sisters.
And see, and that's part of what happened with me and that girl I ended up suing.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm so glad you won that. Well, I mean, and hopefully she do right by you.
Right. Well, I called the other day and it wasn't there yet, so I may have to go ahead and go through with what I told her.
Well, you know what? She got kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tax season,
Right.
garnishments.
Right. You think
I'm
you're
just
getting
saying.
taxes.
I'm just saying. Usually, when there's somebody garnishing you, they can take your taxes, right?
Yep.
So, hey, you never know. It's right around the corner, so you never know. You never
Right.
know. But I sure do hope you get all your money back, girl. But shoot, I'm about to end this live. It's getting late, honey. Child, I gotta be at work in the morning at the nursing home.
Ooh, I forgot you part Jamaican.
Girl, you know I be flipping cakes. I be working at the nursing home. I gotta go down there with a fresh face and bright eyes in the morning, so all the residents, you know, they love me. And I'm taking some cupcakes down there too tomorrow morning. I gotta
You still doing the insurance for them too?
yes. I'm trying, girl. I'm focused right now though. I'm focused. I'm trying to get my new shop and everything for the and then I'm trying to get me some I don't know if I'm gonna deal with the family. I don't know if I'm gonna get some what do you call them? Why can I think right now? Oh my God. It's getting late. I'm tired. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I cannot think. People who work with you for free.
Oh, volunteers or
No.
interns?
Interns. There you go. Some
Mm-mm.
interns, you know. I'm
I
thinking
work
of
with you, but I don't work for free. I might work cheap, but I don't work for free.
girl, do you man, if you knew how many people inbox me, are you hiring? Are you hiring? Are you hiring? No. I will let you know
But
when I'm
we're gonna
hiring.
have to talk about that.
I'm
And
like,
then, yeah.
I'm gonna have, yeah, we're gonna have to
I
talk
got
about
something
that.
about you anyway.
Yeah. Well, shoot, I'll be up for a minute. It's 11:08. Just for those who's looking on, if you're not in the Midwest, it's 11:09 now here in the Midwest in Omaha. But I gotta be
Right.
at work early in the morning. Oh, I don't want to go to work. Because you know
Hopefully
I
I'll
rarely
see
have
you
weekends off. I'm either baking or I'm doing something. I'm doing something. And I had an order that I had today. I'm so glad that she came. When she came to pick up her order, she had noticed my car tire was flat. And I had to go
soon.
to the back. I had to go to my son's football game. And I'm like, it's senior night, it's parents' night. I got to walk my son down the field, with his dad. His dad is driving all the way from out of town to,
Oh,
because, his father lives out of town. So he comes in to watch, so many games, come to so many of his things because he lives out of town. So, of course, he wasn't going to miss senior parent night. And I'm like, he going to be there. I got to be there. Shoot. Man, if she wouldn't have told me, you know how we do. 10, 15 minutes before the game, we running out the house. And then by that time, all the body shops be closed. So
right.
I would have been, and then I got to work tomorrow. Girl, I'm so glad she noticed my tire was flat. I ran outside. I was like, oh no, I ran back inside. I called Florence. I was like, I need a tire. Can I come right now? They was like,
Well, you
sure.
can call Mary.
Girl,
So you
I
had to get
went.
a whole new car?
No, see what I thought I needed a whole new tire. I thought it might have had a nail in it or something. But
Mm-hmm.
cause I didn't know. Shoot, I don't remember running over nothing. And so I went down there and the guy, he was like, oh, we filled it up. You know what they do when they get it all wet and soak it
Yeah.
and all that, looking for the hole. He was like, ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You got a perfect tire. I said, well, why is it flat? He talking about he had to take this machine and like run it around. It was like,
Do diagnostic and
yeah, he had to blast it and all kind of stuff. He said, "Oh, it just needed to be cleaned, and it was some air gaps or something." He was like, "This is a tire." He
uh,
said, "Now, if you want to buy a tire from me," I was like, "Nope." And
I'm
then,
good.
and then check this out. It was only $10 for him to do that. And so when I started heading towards the door, I said, well, come on, I'm in a rush. I got a football game to go to so I can pay you. I got a debit card. He was like, oh, no, the machine's down. I said, well, I don't have cash. And I'm standing there like, oh God. And he said, you know what? I know you. He said, you're the cake lady. You know, everybody know me. He said, you're the cake lady. I know you. Just bring it back later. I was like, I promise
I
I'll
know
be
my
back
cousin was
tomorrow.
supposed to contact you. I told her to hit you up about a cake.
Girl, tonight all the seniors, because it was senior night, so all the parents of the seniors was like, are you taking orders this far in advance? I said, you better get on my calendar this far in advance, because all them graduation cakes I did last year,
Right.
girl, I was working almost 24 hours a day. I swear, I was working almost 24 hours a day. And it's like
Right.
during graduation season, here, just like I'm sure a lot of other places, is week to week to week, like 2, 3 schools every single week graduating
Right.
and, having ceremonies. And then, like, my sons, most of my customers this year was mainly all from Benson, all from that school. I had a few
Mm-hmm.
from Central. I had a few from North. I had a few from Burke. And I think that was like four schools where all my orders was coming
You
from.
ain't had
But they was
none
like
from
the
your
same
alma mater?
weekend. Nope, I didn't have no South. Nope, I didn't have no South Eyes. Nope, nope, sure didn't.
Mm.
I don't know, but
So no,
most of
she's
my
having like a
friends.
little wedding. She's having a Halloween wedding reception.
Hmm.
Don't ask. But so she's like, I'm trying to find cakes. I was like, oh, hit my girl up.
That's funny because I just posted. Did you see my post on Facebook? About
Uh-uh.
Halloween. I was like, it's like 2 weeks away from Halloween's. Every time a holiday comes around, I'll be posting, I'll be advertising because people will wait to the last minute. Oh, I need a
So this
Halloween
year,
decorated cake or cupcake, some kind of Halloween design or something. I'm like, okay.
like, this
Halloween
is not how
comes,
I do.
the holidays come around the same time every year. But I get
You
that with
got
birthday
people
parties
killing
too.
each
People will wait 2 days before their child's birthday. I need to order a birthday cake. Like your child's birthday is the same day every year. Why do people wait so late? But
That's like
anyway,
this lady. When I used to take my kids down to their grandparents. Well, I used to take Elijah down to his grandparents' house every year for the 4th of July. Well, we would go down there, and this same lady would come every year with her grandson, and she would never buy him fireworks.
hmm
And so she would be like, "Oh, they'll share with you. They'll share." But last year, I took my kids down there. I said, Elijah, don't you give him a damn snapper.
oh,
And I felt that way because for like 4 or 5 years, I had always had my son because I would buy him something, my mom would buy him something, and my dad would buy him something. He had, plenty of fireworks. And but the point was, this lady would come every year and never buy this boy any fireworks.
I
So
know
why does
this.
my child have to give up his stuff for
I know
you?
that. I know the type because every year we go to Missouri up there by my son's old college. We go up there
Mm-hmm.
every year, and then on top of that, his dad who lives in town, he takes him shopping every single year for fireworks. So he gets them from me, he gets them from his dad, and he has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of fireworks, and it never fails. Children will show up every year, and no fireworks. Kids on the
Now, see,
block.
now what I
Kids on the
do and
block.
my dad does, I don't mind buying like them little box of snappers or, some little smoke bombs or some black cats because those are all like, what, a quarter a piece. So I don't mind buying those for kids, but you're not gonna blow up my kids' bigger stuff. You're not gonna, no.
Cause that stuff is
You
expensive. That
can
stuff
get
is
sparklers,
expensive.
you can do, yeah, you can have that. But the rest of that shit, no. Because your parents, your family, whoever, they knew the 4th of July come every year on the 4th of July.
Hmm. Yep. Well, I'm sure
And I mean,
taking
I can understand not having no money, but
orders, and you know me, I'll be like, oh, I really don't, prefer last minute orders, but I be getting a lot, and I think that's how people get to know me well out there too. Hit Tanya up.
Right.
You need a cake in 2 days. You need some. Hit Tanya up. But I have a hard problem saying no. And that's what it is. Cause
You know what I think I'm
I
gonna do?
love what
I
I
think I'm.
do. So it's like when people order from me and say, I need this, like if they just give me one keyword, my brain automatically be like, okay, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna style this cake? How am I gonna decorate this? What I'm gonna buy to put on this cake? What colors I'm gonna use. So it's like
Mm,
I really love what I do. And so like, okay, remember that number one that I did for that child's first
mm,
birthday? And it's like as a cake artist, you anticipate or you look forward to certain orders. And so when I first got my first number one, girl, before she can even get out, I was like, okay, when's the date? And then she said Sesame Street theme. Oh, okay, I guess to be creative. I'm like, I hate
You
when
know what?
people come to me and be
Some
like,
of
I
your
just need a
business
basic cake.
cards.
Hmm?
I need some of your business cards because, like, when I saw Laura that day, and we were in the pharmacy, and I started showing the pharmacist. He was like, "Wow, that's great, this and that." And he was like, I might have to get in contact with her sometime, and this and that. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
I need to
definitely hook
drop
you
a
up.
couple.
I'll hook you up. Shit,
And I'm always in doctor's offices.
I just got 500. Just got 500 new cards the other day because I had to order some new cards and I had to order some new box labels. Um, when I had because I had ran out. So I just got some new. I just opened one of the boxes of my new cards today to take some to hand out at the football game tonight for all the parents of the seniors
Hmm.
for their graduation cakes. But I'll give you some. I sure will get you some because the holiday is about to come up and I'm gonna be really really busy. Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Christmas, New
I love my
Year's.
strawberry. I love my strawberry. Now, okay, that strawberry crunch cake, is that a cake or is it a cheesecake?
It's both. It's both. It has 2 layers of cake and 2 layers of cheesecake, but not it's cheesecake, cake, cheesecake, cake. And of
Okay,
course it
I can
has
get along without the
the
cheesecake.
crust on the bottom. The cheesecake with the crust is on the bottom. But you know what's funny? What's really funny is that some people they can't even decipher. They eat the cake and they be like, okay, this lady had ordered the cake from me last week because she tasted it at somebody's party. And she was like, I want to order this cake. And I always say, you want it with cheesecake or without? That's any of my cakes. You want it with cheesecake or without? She said, no, I want the one that we had last night. It didn't have cheesecake. Yes, it did. Did it? I don't even eat cheesecake. You don't?
She's like, yes, it is.
Well, you ate 2 layers that day. But I mean, I have so many people who like. I have this one lady. She was a customer, and her husband hates cheesecake. I mean, hates. When she said hates, he hates cheesecake. So
Mm-hmm.
she bought that cake from me, thinking this is my cake. I'm gonna have this cake. It's gonna be in the refrigerator. It's gonna stay in there. I'm gonna be the only one eating it. She can take her time eating it. You know how you buy stuff for yourself. You got kids, husband, whatever, and everybody always eating
Right.
stuff. She said her husband opened up that box one day when she was at work, and she said he was like his senses smelled the strawberries and that crunch texture that I put on the outside of that cake. And she said he sliced a little piece and ate it. She said when she got back home, half of her cake was gone. She said that
Wow.
cake was gone. And she was like going off. She was like, do you know how much that cake cost? You told me you didn't want any. Da 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 da. She said that cake was gone. By the next day, it was gone. She probably had like 2 slices. And she said that he don't even eat cheesecake. And I was like, well, I guess you just gotta know what you're doing when you're making it, because my stuff is
I
homemade.
do.
I don't buy that stuff
I
from the
don't.
store in the box, you know.
I don't eat cheesecake. I don't eat you said the like cobblers and stuff.
Yeah, I
Mm-mm.
like peach cobbler, but I don't like it. And it's not something that I can eat all the time. I just gotta have a taste for it. but it's definitely not something I eat all the time. But yeah, I mean, you can have any cake that you make, you can put cheesecake in it. You can add it to the cake, or not add it to the cake. It's whatever,
Hmm.
whatever people want. I do whatever people want, honey. Whatever they want. Somebody asked me today, can they get a penis cake?
I will.
A penis cake
Oh,
for a wedding, for a bridal shower.
the
Bridal.
bridal shower.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I have to
sure
clear it up
did.
for today.
I was at Jackson's Takeout, and this girl seen my plates, and she was like, "Cake art." She was like, "Are you the cake lady?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm one of few." And she was like, do you make penis cakes? Because one lady told us she wouldn't make a penis cake. I said, I'll make whatever you want. I will put the balls and everything else on there. I'll make it realistic if you want. Sure. You
Oh,
forget it.
Lord.
You forget it was a piece of cake. But no.
That reminds me of basketball wives. Him and Jackie Christie ordered that cake,
Yes.
and it
Yes.
looked, I was like,
And do you
wow.
know how I was like, oh wow.
Mm-mm.
Because that's my thing. So when I see cakes that are like outside the box, I'm like, wow, I like that. Yeah, that's one of the ones that I'm waiting to do. Also, it's just as a cake decorator, there's just certain things that you anticipate or you wait for a customer to order. And some people be like, well, why don't you just make these things and post them on your social page? Do you know how much it may
Who's
cost to
gonna
make a
eat them?
cake? I'm not about to go, and then we don't eat cake here at the house. The kids hardly eat cake. I don't eat cake. And that's another thing. People are like, well, how you a baker? How you a cake artist and you don't eat? How do you know your stuff is good? I'm like, if y'all knew me from the bottom, y'all know how much I spent on making cakes, giving out free cakes. The nail salons, the barbershops, the gas station down the street, they all know me. Cause I mean, I would take cakes and cupcakes everywhere I went. And I would just be handing them out to people, and I would be handing out my card. And then, of course, on holidays, I would make them for the family, make them so you don't have to taste your own product to know if it's good. That's what taste testings are for. You
Do
know what I'm
your
saying?
feelings taste their own goat? No. No, I'm just playing.
You said what? What you say?
I said, do dope dealers use their own dope?
Ah,
No.
that's what I be telling people. I'm like, you can't get off your high on your own supply.
Right.
But people be
They wouldn't
tripping when I
even
say
know.
I don't eat cake, but I bake them all the time. I make a wedding cake, anything for people, and I don't. I hate even getting frosting on me. I'm like, ugh, I be throwing the frosting in the
Oh,
trash. It's
Lord.
all on my hands. Like, not that I don't like it. It's just I don't. I'm not a big sweet eater. I'm not. Some people make cakes and stuff, and they be, after they done, they lick the spoon. You know how, just like when you was a little kid and your mom be like, "You want the bowl?" Nope. I'll be throwing away so
Mm-hmm.
much cake and so much batter and so much. I mean, I'll be
If
like,
I told them they do that, she'd be so mad at you.
even the kids, I'll be like, "Kids, do y'all want this?" Nope. And it's not like they don't. They love my cakes. They love my cakes. But my sons are just not big sweet eaters, just like me. So I don't know. I don't know. Give me a bag of chips, some popcorn, some hot skins. I like stuff like that. Crunchy snacks, salty. That's me right there. Not really the sweet eater. But yeah, when I have a new cake, like you can see on Facebook, I'll post if I come up with a different recipe or something. I didn't give out stuff. So okay, it's till 10 o'clock. Y'all better come get this cake. But
I don't ever see them post.
girl,
When I
I
see
did
them, it'd be
one
like
with
2 days later.
no, I did one. I did one with the strawberry crunch cake. I did one with the remember the carrot cake. I did one with the carrot cake. Matter of fact, some lady just ordered the carrot cake from me for Thanksgiving, and she tasted it at the taste test, and that's how she knows it's good. That's the cake that she wants to order. But yep, it's not like every month or anything like that. But yeah, ask Cricket. She didn't came over and got some free cake. Sure do.
I might have to try some of that carrot cake. I usually don't eat nobody but my mom and my aunt.
I make it totally homemade, real carrots, all that,
And
and I
that's
make it
good
with
too.
cheesecake or without cheesecake, and you can get
You
the
don't put like raisins in it though, do you?
only if you want to, only if you want it.
No.
Nope. On a normal basis, I don't. That's like some people like pecans, some people like walnuts. Most people like pecans with it. I just do whatever
Mm-hmm.
people want, really.
Give me
That's
the pecans. I'm gonna take
sure. You can
some
get the
some
cream
Texas
cheese
folks.
frosting, you can get the buttercream frosting, you can get whatever frosting you want because I make them all homemade. So whatever frosting you want.
Gotta have the cream cheese frosting.
Yeah, I mean, with you gotta have. That's just one like red velvet. You gotta have cream cheese frosting.
Right. It's like you putting something else on there, you looking at it with your face all screwed up like,
But
where's this from?
some people just don't like cream cheese frosting. So, girl, we done went
I'm
from talking about
supposed
rapists to cakes. I'm up here like
I said to your ass later.
intro to cakes 101.
Look,
I done
I'm
got
not
too
calling this
comfortable
show no
too.
more.
I done got too comfortable too. I'm up here like, yeah, cream cheese frosting. Okay. Anyway,
Every
yep.
time I call your show, we on the phone over an hour.
I know.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, girl, I be forgetting. I like when you call in though because you put a lot of insight on the subject, and I like your comments and your thoughts on the subjects that we do. So that's cool. But yeah, we're gonna
Thank
get off
you.
this phone, get off this live. I need to get up early in the morning to punch it at the plantation.
Oh,
But
stupid.
I will holler at you soon.
Okay, I'm gonna just tag my cousin on that page so she'll know where to go look.
Yeah, just tag her on my cake decorating page and tell her hit me up ASAP because it's around the holidays and
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then, huh?
All right,
I
hon.
will holler at you later.
All right. Good night, sweetie.
Good night.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, everybody. That is the end of our live discussion tonight. We done talked about a lot of stuff tonight. Um, even stuff I didn't think we was gonna end up talking about. So, anywho, but I hope overall you enjoyed the live talking about Andrea. We went from Andrea Kelly to R. Kelly, talking about Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, and other things. If you have any comments or any thoughts about anything, please feel free to put it in the chats. I will get your notifications even when the chat is over, even when the video is over. And also make sure you check out our Facebook group page, which is in the links. In the chat section, Tanya's Primetime TV on Facebook. Make sure you check that out. Go over there and request to join that group. Also, if you are into cakes or cake decorating or in the local area in Omaha and you need a good personal custom cake decorator, make sure you go over to Facebook, Tanya's Delight, Slice by Slice. And I will also post the link to my cake decorating page over there as well. And I do, again, give out free cakes every month. So, with that said, you guys, as usual, Primetime Squad, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out.